Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. On this video, we're making progress on Chapter 12, A Golden Key. Taking a look at our story, we are at full speed ahead. Head to Costa del Sol to continue the trek on foot. So let's take off in our tiny Bronco ship. It's been converted. And as we drive around, we can run into these boxes for supplies. We got some chromite ore and oregano there. Let's take a quick detour into this cave. And you can see we are at the Cosmo Canyon Port. And we got some chromite ore and oregano. So we're not actually going there, just wanted to show it that we now have access to basically all the ports in the game, which is pretty cool. Alright, we got some Divine Heartwood and Pearl Ginger Root. These boxes, Divine Heartwood and oregano, and on the right you can see the minecart tracks that we initially took into North Corral. So taking a trip down memory lane over here. Pretty cool to see this area again. And unfortunately it makes you drive really slow through here. I'm not sure why, but this is max speed. We got some St. Luke's Leaf and Pearl Ginger Root there.
Hey, Sid, did I hear right? You used to work with Shinra?
Still do, on occasion. The boys got their uses.
That's gonna be a problem. You see, we don't take kindly to friends of the company.
And I don't take kindly to that tone of yours. Man who tries to lord his power over me is gonna wish he didn't. That's what's appealing about the skies. I'm all to myself. Rats can have their race in the gutter. Never much cared for the squeaking anyways. I miss the wild blue yonder dearly.
Sid putting Barrett in his place. Well done, Sid. Alright, let's do another detour. We're going into this cave. Let's see what we've got. Got some ash wood in that box. Got emerald and Gungaga pine, and you can see we're in the Nebel port now. So we're not going there either, just wanted to show it. Back this way. Let's get these boxes. Timber, Condor, Cedar, and Moonstone. Okay, let's continue on to Costa del Sol. It's this way. Divine Heartwood and Laurel in the box. Miss Seeds and Chromite ore. And you can see we are getting very close to Costa del Sol. Starting to look like the right area.
I hope Johnny's okay. And that his hotel's found its sea legs.
Fat chance. Kid probably got grifted again and is crying himself to sleep every night.
Oh, Barrett's got no faith in Johnny. Johnny's doing all right. All right, here we go. We made it.
Thank you for choosing Bronco Cruises. We sincerely hope you enjoyed your trip with us.
Cruises? I thought it was Bronco Airlines.
Not after his wings got clipped.
Seriously, we really appreciate you ferrying us around.
You're most welcome. Hey, y'all are headed to the saucer, ain't you? I might could tag along, take in the splendor. What do you think?
Of course.
Girl always knows just what to say. Am I right? Shall we?
Wait a sec. Where's Vincent?
Up there.
Another loner. As if one wasn't enough of a pain in my ass.
Yeah, one's more than enough. You mean me?
Traveling the globe. Now that the tiny Bronco is able to cross the Meridian Ocean, you can fast travel to any location from the map, accessed with the touchpad. To board the tiny Bronco, speak to Sid at the nearest port or select the vessel from the map screen. New quests available. The SRC's declaration of war against Shinra was the shot heard around the world, unsettling folks everywhere. Check the notice boards as you travel to locations both old and new and see if anyone needs help from a hand for hire. And new ways to play. The attractions at the Gold Saucer have undergone a series of renovations, as have mini-games available in other regions. Try revisiting familiar locations and seeing what new challenges await. Note that some mini-games will not be updated until certain conditions are met. Ports around the world are now open, fast travel is now available, the combat simulator has been updated. New Queen's Blood players await your challenge in Costa del Sol, and new quests are available in the Grasslands, Junon, Corel, Gungaga, Cosmo Canyon, and Nebel. Alrighty, so we're back here in Costa del Sol. And let's see what's going on at the Card Carnival.
I hope you have a great match.
Card challenges. In Costa del Sol's Queen's Blood Arena, the house provides the cards, while you provide the cunning in these puzzles designed to test your QB acumen. Card puzzles win by using specific cards. Collection challenges complete to earn unique cards. And skill drills practice using card skills. All right, so lots of new stuff available. Let's start with Collector's Card Cloud. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. Once Cloud's power reaches 7, he enhances the cards around him. Use this limit-breaking skill to your advantage and claim victory. And for doing this, you'll get card 86, Cloud. All right, so we've got Cloud here. When this card's power first reaches 7, raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 2. So this one's a little tricky. What we want to do is take a look at the cards here. So we have Desert Sahagin. When first enfeebled, raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 4. So we're going to use that to our advantage by destroying the Bloatfloat. When destroyed, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 4, so it just happens to be targeting that Desert Sahagin. So we want to first play our security officer, both so we can play Cloud and that will enhance it. Then we'll play Cloud, and then Sephiroth will destroy the cards above and below him, and that will basically start a chain reaction, which will get Cloud to buff everybody. So Sahagin gets destroyed, Cloud goes up to 7 power, and then buffs everybody. And that will give us the win. And now we have Cloud. Probably not a card I'll be using, though. Alright, then we have Collector's Card Barrett. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. Barrett can drastically enfeeble a card across the board. Use this long-range skill to snipe your opponent and win. And this will give us card 87, Barrett. Alrighty, so we've got an interesting collection of cards here. Let's look at Barrett first. He's rank 3 with 4 power. When played, lower the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 8 to positions to the right. So let's start with the Toxie Rat. When played, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 3, and that's going to affect the Flame Trooper. And when he's destroyed, he lowers the power of allied and enemy cards by 3 on these, in these positions. So it's just going to wipe out all of them. So do that. Alrighty, then let's see, what do we want to do next? Let's go ahead and play the Sandhog Pie right here. Right? Wait, hold on. Wait, is this how I want to do it? I'm trying to remember now. Or, no. What I want to do instead is play the Sandhog Pie here, I think. No, hold on. Now I'm confusing myself. Oh, no. This is what I want to do. All right, so let's play the Sandhog Pie down here. Because when it's destroyed, it'll raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 3. Actually, no, that doesn't work. I'm trying to remember how I did this. This one's actually slightly tricky. What we're going to do is place the bomb eventually and then have the Insectoid Chimera take his place. But, well, I guess... Well, I guess we don't have to destroy the bomb. Let's not destroy the bomb. I think that was actually the trick. I was thinking we needed to destroy the bomb, and that actually just leads to chaos. So let's not destroy the bomb. What we're going to do instead is play a Sandhog Pie. Then we're going to play the bomb. Oh, no, we're still going to have to play that bomb. But that's okay. We'll play the bomb. And then we're going to replace the bomb with the Insectoid Chimera, which is going to blow everybody up. But it's also going to make a rank 3 position right next to us, which is where we'll place Barrett, and he can blast the card of the enemy in the middle. There we go. That's why it was weird, because you blow up your own cards, but you blow up theirs as well. It's a little awkward. All right, and then we play Barrett, and he's going to blast that card, and that's going to give us 9 points in the center, which will beat the 6 points he gets on the top and the bottom. All right, and we got Barrett. Moving on. We have Collector's card, Tifa. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. When Tifa wins a duel in a lane, she accrues a large number of bonus points. Use this skill to your advantage and outscore the competition. And this will give card 88, Tifa. All right, so taking a look at Tifa, I really like this card. It's rank 1 with 1 power, but the positions are very nice, and when you win the lane, receive a score bonus of 5. So I've got a perfect spot for Tifa in my deck to replace a Leprechaun. So looking forward to that. But anyways, let's see. How are we gonna tackle this? Well, we obviously want the Cactuar, so we're gonna put him up there. And then we're gonna play a Spearhawk here. And that's going to buff the Death Wheel, which will also lower that card up there by 3. And when first enfeebled, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 5. But it's not actually targeting anything, I don't think. Let me see. Oh, it actually is. So yeah, that's going to do some major devastation in that area. So there we go. And then we're going to play Tifa right here. And very specifically this spot. Because then we're going to have the Griffin replace the power of the Death Wheel and give that to Tifa. All right. And let's see. So middle lane's going to give us 13 points. And the bottom row is going to give us 6. And that's going to be enough to beat his top row of 10. All right, we got Tifa. Very excited about that one. Next up, we have Collector's Card Aith. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. When Aith is placed in a given lane, she enhances the cards on either side of her. Use this boon to bolster your forces and turn the tide of battle in your favor. And that'll give card 89, which is Aith. Okay, so we are going to start by playing Aith, and she raises the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 3 when she's in play. So let's put her right there. And then we're gonna play our Leviathan, which lowers the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 3 while this card is in play. So that's gonna affect 4 different cards, or actually, 4 different cards. It's gonna affect the Leprechaun, which it'll destroy. It'll lower the Alpha Dunk, and lower the Ogre. All right, so then what we're gonna do is play our Adjudicator. Raise power by 1 for each other enhanced or enfeebled allied or enemy card. Oh, wait, we can't play him yet. Never mind, I was confused. What we are gonna play is the Mandragora right here, so we can play the Adjudicator. And playing the Mandragora gave us the Mandragora minion, but let's first play our Adjudicator, who has 7 power, and then the minion will go in the remaining slot, and that will buff the Adjudicator. So very important, the order in which you place things. Alrighty, and we got the win, 21-20. Okay, next up we have Red 13's Collector Card. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. When Red 13 is enfeebled, he retaliates by enfeebling an opposing card across the board. Unleash vengeance on your foe and emerge victorious. And this gives us card 90, Red 13. Alrighty, so we've got the Sandhog Pie. We know how those work. Let's play him right here. That's gonna give us those 2 positions for us to play Stone Golem's Arm. When first enhanced, lower the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 4. So we're gonna put 1 there, and 1 there. Then we're gonna play Red, who is rank 1 with 3 power. And when first enfeebled, lower the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 2, and that's affecting all sorts. So let's go ahead and play him right there. And he is going to be affecting the Two-Face. What's going on? I can't seem to target it. Oh, there it goes. Two-Face. Enhanced, raise power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 4, and enfeebled, lower their power by 4. So he's going to do some damage there. We'll lower the Alpha Dunk, we'll lower the Zoo, and we'll lower the Grand Horn. And the way we're going to do that is by using the Gi Spectre. So replace an ally and lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by the replaced ally's power. So that is going to lower Red, which will cause him to lower everything else. So we're going to replace the Sandhog Pie. Also, when we replace him, he is technically destroyed, which will buff the Golems, which will then enfeeble the enemies next to them. And one of them is the Two-Face, which will also lower the power of all the cards that are affected by it. So, big chain reaction. Alright, and that's going to give us 16 points on the top and middle lane versus their 3. Okay, next up, we've got Collector's Card Yuffie. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. Replace one of your cards with Yuffie to destroy it, enfeebling others around it, friend and foe alike. Choose your position wisely and ninja your way to victory. This will give card 91, Yuffie. Alrighty, so what we definitely want to do first is play the Ski. When allied cards are destroyed, raise this card's power by 1. So let's play one there and one there. Alright, then we're going to play a Crab down here to buff the middle card. We want to do the same with the Spearhawk on top. And then we're going to play our Bomb. When destroyed, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 4. That's just going to kind of nuke everything. And then we've got Yuffie, who is a replacement card. Replace an ally and lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by the replaced ally's power. So that's going to just do some massive carnage in that area, along with the bomb exploding from being destroyed. So it's just going to be nasty. And it just cleared out the entire area, and our skis got buffed from all of that, so we've got 4 in the top and bottom lanes for 8 total to beat the 5 in the middle. And we got Yuffie. Alright, next up, we've got Collector's Card Sith. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. Sith can summon his Moogle pal to your hand when played. Put this powerful combination to work and prove you're the cat's meow. This will give card 92, Sith. Alright, so we've got Sith here. When played, add Moogle to your hand. And we've also got a bunch of other interesting cards as well. So let's start with Sith. We might play him right here. Just debating where I want to play him. Let's play him right here. Alright, then we got the Moogle put in our hand. So raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 3 while this card is in play. Let's next play our Chocobo Jockey up top. So if we take the top lane, we're going to get an extra 10, and we will take it because we got that Moogle. Actually, that'll only increase it by 3. Oh, but we're going to have... hold on. Oh, yeah, because this is going to buff everything. And we'll take it by 1 as a result. Okay, so definitely want to play our Chocobo Jockey up there. Then we'll play our Space Ranger here. That allows us to play our Moogle and buff that top row. It'll also, importantly, put a rank 3 position on the bottom row for Dio. We'll play Dio now. And then Loveless is going to do a whole lot of buffing, which will also buff Dio quite a bit and make sure that we win the top lane by 1 point. All right, so that gives us, let's see, we're going to get 18 off the top row and 22 off the bottom, so we got 40 points versus their 31 in the middle. Alright, that gives us Sith. Not a bad card, but I don't know if I have a spot for it. Okay, then we have Collector's Card Sid. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. Sid can summon his tiny Bronco to your hand when played. soar into battle with this dynamic duo and watch the competition crash and burn. This will give card 93 Sid. All right, so we got Sid here. Kind of interesting positions. Not the best if you ask me, but rank 1 with 2 power in those positions, and when played, you add the tiny Bronco to your hand. So let's go ahead and play him on the bottom left. That'll give us the tiny Bronco, which is rank 2 with 2 power, and some interesting positions as well. Obviously works in tandem with Sid, so we're gonna play that on the top left. Oh, and when played, it raises position ranks by 2, so it's actually pretty good. I forgot about that part of it. So that is quite powerful, actually. So let's see. We've got our sky wheel here, adds positions in the shape of a certain gold saucer attraction. What we're gonna do is play this down here, and that will give us that position deep in enemy territory. And now we can play our bomb there and replace it with the Insectoid Chimera, which is gonna do some devastation in that area. Lowered all those cards. And there we go. We got the top lane with 2, the bottom lane with 4 for 6 total, and that's gonna be their 4 in the middle lane. And we got Sid. Next up, we got Collector's Card Vincent. And this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. When Vincent is destroyed, he summons the Galleon Beast card to your hand. With this monster on your side, it won't be long before the competition joins the marksman in deep, deep slumber. This will give card 94 Vincent. Okay, well, we've got Vincent here, rank 1 with 2 power. Pretty decent positions. When destroyed, add Galleon Beast to your hand. So we clearly want to start with this. All right, then we're gonna play a Black Bat. When played, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 1, so that'll lower Vincent by 1, and more importantly, give us a position to the left. So that's where we're gonna play our Rictus. Raise power by 1 for each other enfeebled allied and enemy cards. So we're gonna play him right there. Then we'll play our Black Bat under Vincent to get the Galleon Beast. And that's rank 2 with 4 power and pretty crazy positions that it affects. When played, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 1. So that's gonna do some serious damage to that entire row over there. Or entire column, rather. And that's also gonna buff up our Rictus. Actually, no, it didn't. It did the opposite. But whatever. Regardless, that gives us 10 points for our top and middle lane, which beats their bottom lane of 7. You completed all collection challenges, but we got more to do here. Next up, let's do chain reactions. Practice activating the Amphidex and Gajigandi skills to boost the power of your cards while reducing the power of your opponents. Try positioning cards with skills that activate once enhanced to create a chain reaction. Remember that some cards' power changes depending on the state of the adjacent cards. Alrighty, so we've got a Cactuar, a Gajigandi, when first enhanced, lower the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 2, and an Amphidex. The first time this card is enhanced, raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 3. And very important, first time it's enhanced, so we need the cards in play already. So we're gonna play our Amphidex first. and that'll add the position to the top row. Which makes it rank 2, so we can play our Gaji Gandhi there. And then we'll play our Cactuar, which will start that chain reaction. Okay, and that gives us 27 points from our middle and bottom lane, which will beat their 8. Okay. Next up, let's do Major Power Outage. Practice using the Desert Sahagin and Reaper Tail to enhance your other cards when they are enfeebled. Then activate the Jabberwock skill to enfeeble your opponent's cards in turn. Try positioning cards with skills that activate once enfeebled to create a chain reaction. Remember that some cards' power changes depending on the state of adjacent cards. Alrighty, what do we have here? We got a Desert Sahagin. When first enfeebled, raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 4. We have the Reaper Tail. When first enfeebled, lower the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 2. We have a Jabberwock. When played, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 1. And we have a Rictus. Raise power by 1 for each other enfeebled allied and enemy card. Alrighty, so let's start. I guess it really doesn't matter exactly where this Desert Sahagin is, but I suppose we can start with the Reaper Tail. We definitely want him here. Oh, actually, no, it does matter where the Desert Sahagin is. We want him right there. Because otherwise... Yeah, we want to play the Rictus after we've already placed the Jabberwock. Otherwise, it'll get enfeebled, and we don't want that. So we'll play the Desert Sahagin here. Then we'll play Jabberwock. Wait, did we do this right? I think we did. Oh, well. No, we should be good. Let's play the Jabberwock, and I guess it really doesn't matter when you play the Rictus, because it's going in anyway. Because it's getting enfeebled regardless. Alright, and that gives us 21 points from our top and middle lane, and that's going to beat their 13. Okay, next up, let's do, whoops. Let's see, we could do Back to Replacix, a skill drill. Practice replacing other cards with the Grand Horn and Gigantoad to activate their skills upon destruction. Replaceable cards can only be placed on top of cards already in play. Replacing destroys the card below, activating its skill if applicable. All right. So, let's go ahead and what we'll want to do. So we have a Sandhog Pie here. When it's destroyed, it raises the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 3. So we want to make sure our Quetzalcoatl is down before we do that. So we're going to use our Grand Horn to replace the Leprechaun and make that a rank 2 position, which allows us to play our Quetzalcoatl. And then the Gigantoad is going to replace the Sandhog Pie to buff the Quetzalcoatl. Oh, and it also buffed the security officer, but that was going to happen regardless. So that gives us 21 points for our middle and bottom lane, and that beats their 10 on the top. All right, next up we'll do one shot, one kill. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. Your mission is to make the board into a minefield laden with cards that self-destruct. Use Dine to detonate these traps and blow the competition to smithereens. Just don't let Phoenix stand in your way. And this gives card 119, Dine. Alright, so Dine's an interesting card. When played, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 5, and there's really only one place that we could realistically play it, on the left there. So it's going to affect the specimen H1024, raise the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 3 while this card is in play. So hopefully we'll be destroying that. And then it'll affect this position as well. So, let's take a look at our other cards. We have well, let's look at the Phoenix first. So we have this Phoenix here. When destroyed, raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by 5. So we want to make sure this does not get destroyed, at least not right away. So we're going to accomplish that with the Scrutin Eye. Raise the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 1 while this card is in play. So we're going to give that Phoenix just a little bit of a boost. But let's figure out if we're playing in that top position there or there. It's going to be one of those two. But then we have the Bloat Float. When destroyed, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 4. So Bloat Float's going to be here. Diane's going to blow him up. So he's played there, and he's going to lower this card by 4. And when first enfeebled, lower the power of enemy cards on affected tiles by 6. So he's going to help blow up the specimen. Oh, and also this position. So that position, we should throw a bomb. So we'll throw a bomb right there. So when he's destroyed, he's gonna affect all those positions. And this one, when first enfeebled, lower the power of allied and enemy cards on affected tiles by 5. So we can just do some major chain reacting here, throw another bomb here. And then that means our Scrutin Eye is going to be on the bottom to give the Phoenix a little bit more power so it doesn't get blown up by the first bomb. And then it dies with everything else on the second bomb. And then we can put Dine there and start the chaos. So Phoenix lived through that one. It didn't live through that one, but everything died with it. And that just leaves Dine. 4 points for us, we win. All right, next we'll do replacement test. Some replaceable cards have the ability to transfer the power of a destroyed card to another one still in play. Practice this technique by maxing out your Bloat Float's power, then replacing it with the Griffin to spread that power around. All right, so not much here. We got a Cactuar, a Spearhawk, and a Griffin. So obviously we want the Cactuar up there to buff the Bloat Float. Then we want the Spearhawk to buff the Bloat Float as well. And then we use the Griffin to power transfer over to that Mandragora. And that's going to give us the middle lane and the bottom lane. So our 14 points from the mid and bottom beats their 6 on the top. You completed all the skill drills, and that just leaves one final one, the Curse of the Gi. It's a card puzzle advanced. In this limited deck challenge, your opponent has laid their cards on the table. Enhance the Jabberwock positioned on the board using cards from your hand. Then replace it with Gi Natak to activate its skill and power your way to victory. And this gives card 123, Gi Natak. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of cards here. We've seen all of these except for Gi Natak. Replace an ally and raise the power of allied cards on affected tiles by the replaced ally's power. All right, so this one's slightly tricky. We're definitely gonna want a Desert Sahagin. So play that right there. And then we want a Sandhog Pie. Play him right here. And then we'll play the Jabberwock, which will enfeeble the Sahagin, which will buff the Jabberwock by 4. And then the Sandhog Pie will be destroyed, and that will buff the Jabberwock by 3. Alrighty, now we're gonna play our Crystalline Crab, which will buff the Jabberwock another 2, or is it 3? 2. And I'll also give a position to the left where we can play a Riot Trooper. So we're gonna play a Riot Trooper there. Then we're gonna use the Griffin to buff the Jabberwock even more. Take the Riot Trooper's power and give it to the Jabberwock. And that gets the Jabberwock to 18, and we're gonna use Gin Attack to make our bottom and top lanes 20 power. All right, that gives us 40 from the top and bottom, and that's gonna beat their 19 in the center. And we now have Gin Attack. You completed all advanced card puzzles, and we completed everything at the Card Carnival. It's all done. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up right here. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.